Welcome back to Raw is Retro here on the Sharpshooters Network. I am Ross. With me, as ever, is Lord Manny Hayes.
I
And
was
joining
trying to
us for
play
a
that I was
special Raw.
frozen. I was trying to play out that I was frozen.
And joining us for this Raw after the Raw Rumble is Marcus, the grand finale.
How you doing? You can't
Welcome
see
back,
me.
sir.
You can't see me. I'm happy to be back. I like this time traveling edition of the on the Sharpshooter channel where I could go back and relive my glory days of 1998.
1998.
When
You boys almost started podcasting around, didn't you?
it's somewhere around there. Yeah, we're 7 years away from the Sharpshooter's existence at this point,
Jesus
which is
Christ.
insane. Which
That's
is
mental.
insane.
Yeah.
I was still in high school. I even started high school in '98.
Wow.
Actually, shit, my balls hadn't dropped yet.
We're here to talk about
I forget you guys call high school different because high school for us is year 7 to 11.
Yeah, you start when you're 12.
Oh, y'all got high really quick then. we didn't get high until we were like 14.
Yeah, junior school, high school, that's it. We're done.
Yeah.
This is the January 19th Raw. It's the Monday after the night before, which was the Royal Rumble that Stone Cold Steve Austin won.
Shocking.
We kick off Raw with Paul Bearer. He's out and he's in a great mood, chuckling it up. His plan all came together.
I've never seen nobody happy to confessing to murder in my life. So he was out there. Oh, man, y'all can boo me all you want. I committed murder last night. No one's gonna do anything because on a wrestling show. Then again, if I was on a wrestling show and I committed murder and I knew I could get away with it, I would be happy.
Well, yeah, it seems to be the place you can get away with a lot of stuff.
Because Tyson killed Tupac.
There's some great signs from the series. There's the one later that says "to gay Brian Christopher" as well in the crowd.
Yeah, it was extremely homophobic. Forget how homophobic things were in the 90s. During the Royal Rumble, I forgot to bring this up whenever we did that show. There was Tyson killed Tupac side.
Yeah.
Vince, your tag team sucked. To this day, that's still true. The guy now who was above the curve who wanted Rocky for president, and I was like, that guy saw the future. He saw everything. Yeah, very progressive. Not only he wanted The Rock to be the first black president, he saw that shit coming that The Rock on Young Rock would be running for president.
Yeah.
Rock is a crack baby sign, which I thought was probably racial. Because there's nothing about The Rock that goes, probably a crack baby, guys. Probably a crack baby. And then you had homophobic sides as Ted Turner is gay. Don't know who's his facts. Where did he get this information?
Vince. That was a sign that Vince put in.
Yeah.
There was also Carl is gay from the same guy. I was like, this dude. Yeah, I hope Carl doesn't look it back and goes, "Oh." How did he know? My secret. I was in the closet for years. Oh. And Goldust is from the gay area, which is a play on the Bay Area. Which I was like, it's an extremely homophobic show.
Wow.
None of this shit flies today.
The gay area. Love it.
Clever guy.
And a casket is wheeled down to the ring. Of course, Taker's not in it. It's Kane. I like the little explosion of the lid flying off. That was pretty cool.
Yep. It was a nice interest for Kane, and JR talking about the stench was still there when they lifted that casket of the Undertaker, but he wasn't. He magically disappeared. And I was like, Kane's a sick bastard. Not only are they confessing the murder, Kane is laying where the dead body was with the stench of a dead man who burned alive and hopped out of there. Like, yes, son. We did
should have seen Katie Vick coming, shouldn't we? We really should.
We should. The man has no problem being around corpses.
Bearer's outro line from his promo is, "I'm Paul Bearer and you're not." That's never going to get over.
It was very MJF-ish. I'm better than you, and you know it. Also, I want to point out to the shitty Druids. They were just some guys. The Druids have come a long way.
They were not feeling that. They were putting the effort in at all.
Yeah, they couldn't fit the sheets. They were just guys. It was like, oh, they're not real Druids.
There was a DX promo backstage where Triple H tells Owen it's time to head south. And then HBK promises everyone that they'll find the Taker tonight. Great.
Can I ask what is the theme of all these Raws where people are looking for people all the time? So the first time we did this, it was the Outlaws looking for Mankind.
Yep.
Now,
Everyone lost Kane last week, the week before.
the Royal Rumble last week, where everyone was looking for Steve Austin.
Yeah.
You guys do not realize how much hide and seek was how popular that was in the 90s.
Next up, we get a 3-on-3 match between the Disciples of Apocalypse and the Nation of Domination.
Crowd was hot.
Yeah, really hot. JR was very keen to tell everyone that Farouk is still the leader, regardless of what people might think. And Michael Cole, he cannot help but tell us how tall everyone is and how much they weigh. Every single person he's this tall and he weighs this much. It came out.
That was Vince. We know that was Vince.
But at two separate points during this match, D'Lo weighs 300 pounds and 270 pounds.
I mean, that's sweat weight.
30-pound drop in a couple of minutes. That's impressive.
Losing that water weight.
That's also carrying Kama and Farouk throughout this match.
And more Kama than Farouk.
Oh, and the rest of the DOA who are trash. They're just trash. I don't care about any of them. They were trash, but this was considered a really hot match as the crowd really wanted this unholy race war to take place of the bikers versus the Muslims. And I've always wanted to see this in my community, and I know everybody else did too. Like, well, what happened? The Muslims fought the bikers.
We just wonder how thumping the nation's music is.
Yeah.
I forgot, just playing through the speakers of the TV. Yeah. It's just like thumping. I was like, whoa, I don't remember it like this.
Yeah. Obviously, it's a double DQ finish because it's a Raw match in 1998.
Yeah. That could be a Raw match in 2022. You know it's a DQ finish. But this is a bullshit finish, though. They just all hell broke loose a little too early for the ref. He was like, nah, this is too soon. We're only 2 minutes in. Nope, throwing it out.
So the rest of the nation come out, Rock and I think it was Karma, and then they make it 5-on-3 until Shamrock and Ahmed show up. Kevin Kelly just flat out lies and said that Ahmed has never looked better. It's just a blatant lie, Kevin.
Fuck Kevin Kelly, by the way.
Just a reminder, just to catch everybody up on where we are in the Kevin Kelly. That man is still calling wrestling to this day. It's still disturbing to me.
And has made no improvement. Has made no improvement since this point.
He's regressed, if anything. Like, that's how bad he is. And then Kevin Kelly came out. Like, when I heard his voice, I went, holy shit, how many people do they have on commentary this week? It's Jim Ross. I don't think was Jared King Lawler on here?
Yeah, Lawler comes in for the second hour. Lawler comes in when it's the War Zone, but he doesn't lower himself to Raw is War.
Also, forgot to mention the intro to Raw is still. This is probably my favorite Raw intro.
Wait, which intro though? Because there's two intros. There's an intro for the first hour, and the intro to the second hour.
The second hour, the music is inaudible. I don't know what it sounds. It sounds like it says, "Welcome to the second hour. Welcome to the second hour." The first one, I feel like, is it because you get that siren and you get Austin just walking through a random alley, probably the same alley that Bruce Wayne lost his parents.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing this again. But
I love that intro. I love it. Just Austin blowing fire. Random Bret Hart's still in it, even though he's been gone for about 2 months.
They wouldn't be doing that these days. That's a quick edit to get that out of there. Someone leaves, you're out of there. We cut to a Vic Venom promo video. He's trying to sell us the magazine. Jesus.
I didn't think
give us your cash. Give us your cash.
You want to know the dirt? I can uncover it all for you. I can tell you why he's the showstopper. I can tell you why Dusty is so dusty. I can tell you where the gold dust come from. Come to me, Vic Venom on WWE, the magazine. For only $99.29. The ad I was out for. I was about to order it again.
It's quite a good saving, to be fair. Save a lot of money. We come back from.
It looked like a Darby Allin video package.
We cut back from that to what match, Manny? What match comes next?
Is it the NWA match? Please tell me it's the NWA match.
No, before that, we get a Tom Brandy match.
Oh, no.
Fuck. Yeah. The legacy
continuing his feud with Mark Morrow, of course. Nothing happens in this entire match apart from Sable gets given some flowers. And then she distracts the ref, and then Maro wins. That's it.
Yeah, it doesn't. I don't actually understand why she's distracting the ref because it's at no point does she actually like Mark Mero in this.
No, she hates it.
No, I think I forgot what Brandy did, but she had a fair complaint about something that was going on in the match. She had to talk to the ref about it. It was a good, honest complaint, and I appreciated her jumping on the apron, going like, "Wait, he can't do that. It's Tom Brandy. It's Tom Brandy. He's literally cheating or something." And Mark Mero lost, who was irate about this whole segment.
And then he
My
got beaten up by
favorite thing
flowers.
No one cared about Tom Brandy, but they did care when he punched Mark Mero for covering up Sable with the property of Mark Mero. And they were like, yeah, Tom Brandy. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Biggest pop of the night, that was.
Yeah, but they did not care about any other offensive attack, whether he did a crossbody or anything else. It was all about fight for all of us to undress Sable. That's what I believe in. That's what I believe in.
He's just an oddly shaped man. Backstage, DX open up a hearse full of honeys and get inside.
I don't know what this was about.
No,
We're looking for the Undertaker. Did they have them shipped in this coffin? Or this is something in the 90s that I was not old enough to understand that they already considered these to be dead hookers anyway. So they just brought the hearse with them. Like, I don't know what was going on. And even China seemed like,
yeah.
They look like they've been kidnapped. They look like they've been kidnapped, and when they opened the door, they were very happy to be let out.
Outside screaming.
I bet you those girls were Russian. I bet you there was Russian women trafficking going on here. I mean, there's already a murder. Why not? Human trafficking.
Get away with what you want. I'm not yet raw. We come back to the ring, and the Quebecers are back, and they look rough. They've had a rough couple of years.
I'm not happy about this match.
No?
Why not?
No. Because I've said on numerous occasions on this show, not on this particular show, on our show, the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast, the Quebecers theme song is possibly one of the best theme songs from this era. And I didn't get to hear it because I got a jobber entrance.
Yes,
already jobber entrance.
I'm going to tell you this right now. I am not giving this version of Quebecers the They were fat, out of shape, beat up. PCL looks worse than I've ever seen. He looks better now in his 50s than he did right here. Jock was balding.
Balding with a mullet. It's an impressive look, that is, to be fair.
I was like, man, get these guys to the high school gym quick, because this is it. This is not it.
Pierre's in his mid-20s, apparently, in this match.
Is he?
And that's what one of them says on commentary. Yeah, I just do not believe it.
They always lied on commentary.
He had to be 30. Yeah. If he's 50 now, he's 55, I think, or something like that.
This is post him stealing Brett's leather jacket, isn't it?
Yeah.
This match finishes with a DQ. Oh, they were facing Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie, by the way. Obviously, it was a DQ finish.
Why couldn't this one have a finish? Why couldn't this one have a finish? Like, you have Terry Funk, who Jim Ross will not call Chainsaw Charlie, by the way, no matter what the case is. He's like, Terry Funk or Chainsaw Charlie. He had to say both of it. He could not just say one or the other. And then you had Mick Foley, Mrs. Foley, Baby Boy, Cactus Jack in there. They could have easily won this match clean. No one would have been like, oh, man, they should have protected the Quebecers.
Yeah, Quebecers got the win, apparently, because of the DQ. Yeah, who cares? Tyson's backstage, and he's just surrounded by a bunch of old lads.
Talk about Bob Backlund. You know, this is one of the positive Tyson conversations.
Pat Patterson was doing his job and keeping him happy.
Yeah.
Fucking stooge.
I mean, but the surrounding of it, I feel like that could really take place, but I don't think, like, realistically, Mike Tyson in any scenario would be like, yeah, come on, let me tell you stories about my youth and loving wrestling.
Yeah, it seems everyone's delighted to see him, apart from Honky Tonk Man and Jerry Lawler. Like, they can't stand that he's there.
Yeah, well, he is a convicted rapist at this point, and he's bitten Holyfield's ear.
Yeah, true.
Like, he had rights to be booed. Although, I think at this point, Mike Tyson is a beloved figure, no matter what.
You think with those two things, Lawler would like him?
Yeah, no. That seems right up along the alley. It's like, you want to go hang out later? But maybe he was upset that he was in the Sean Sonny camp. Like, I'm going to hang out with Sean, Sonny, and Hawk later. Yeah, who you go?
Next up is when we get the NWA title match. Manny, take us through it.
Well, I originally thought this was a tag team match. Because I heard NWA Tag Team Championships, not the North American title with Jeff Jarrett. But
Yeah.
then this leads to Bradshaw getting turned on
Yep.
in the most dumbest way. He gets clotheslined, and then Jarrett picks up the win.
Yeah.
And then this whole "what the hell happened" kind of bullshit.
It's Wyndham. It was Wyndham all along.
Yeah, and then Wyndham was happy that he's gone back to his roots of the NWA.
Wyndham's the fourth man. He's joined the NWA. Who's next?
Yeah, that was
stable.
That's the kind of dirt sheet shit you got from Big Venom. Wyndham is turning on Bradshaw tonight. And you think this was going to propel Bradshaw, Justin Hawk Bradshaw, or Blackjack Bradshaw, or whatever he wants to be at his current life. You think this would have projected his singles run. Because you look at Bradshaw, like, that's an impressive man. And he can do stuff. Yeah, he was
massive
quick and
and a massive power bomb.
Yeah, this was like, I would push this man, but, they didn't really do anything with Bradshaw, I believe, after this.
No.
And it just kind of had this Barry Windle turn. And it was just like, that's the end of this. Like, I feel like this NWA thing is going nowhere. And I know it doesn't, but it just felt like it was going nowhere, even at the time.
Yeah, the ministry can't come along soon enough for Bradshaw.
And then Jim Cornette screaming on commentary.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
This is the NWA. This is wrestling was wrestling. When people went out there doing bullshit and being a circus out there and making people look like shit. This is it. This is where I'm at. This outlaw bunch shit. This is the same thing you get on his podcast. It's just he's slimmer and he's attacking AEW.
To be fair, though, what prompted this was the fact that he saw Goldust dressed up as a Christmas tree. And I'd be like, sure, yeah, whatever, man. Wrestling isn't wrestling anymore.
Yeah, man, these aren't men anymore. This is a bunch of circus ad carny.
Yeah. This is true.
Goddamn man wielding the chainsaws running around here and calling himself a wrestler. That was Terry Funk back in NWA. That was the Funkster, him and Dory. But, his crusade of bringing wrestling back is not happening anytime soon.
Jarrett and his boys.
It didn't happen in his territories.
It didn't even happen in the NWA when he was in it in modern time.
Well, we know what happened about him. He decided to live in the 80s and try and do a bucket of chicken joke, and it didn't work.
Just get to FCW, Jim. You'll be fine there for a few years. That's the end of Raw's War. Welcome to the War Zone, boys. The Undertaker is back.
Did we have one clean finish in that segment, or one good wrestling match?
Nope.
No.
Two DQs and one botched finish with the Tom Brady match with the Sable distracting the ref. So 3 for 3 so far. The War Zone starts with the Undertaker coming back, apparently. But no, it's Shawn Michaels. Did he need the wig? Could have always hair down, couldn't he?
Did he need to come down from the ceiling? It struck me. Because, with the black heart of Owen Hart looming over there, you know what happens in the future, but I was thinking, like, this is a dangerous stunt for a coked out Shawn Michaels probably to be doing right now.
Yeah, but he had a harness. He had a full-on harness.
He had a proper harness.
Which took him forever to take off.
Yeah, this wasn't like Aleister or Malachi Black entrance where he disappears magically in the ring. It took him. The lights went out for a minute. They cut the lights off of this show at one point. It was like,
I know people get tired of me referencing it, but The Undertaker did die in 94, and he floated up into the heavens.
Oh, God, scary.
So the only reason I need the Undertaker clearly died on the Royal Rumble. I needed to come back down, and that's what Shawn Michaels portrayed, and he had me believe. He had me believe.
Let me tell you, when Shawn Michaels coming down, come up the Raptors, which I knew it wasn't Undertaker, because I don't believe, even in '98, that they would not sell Burning Alive. The next night you're back. I don't think even then, but I felt like when he was coming down, I felt like it was looking like watching somebody that had just been hanged. Like when the boss man got on. That's what I felt like. I was like, oh no, they hung the Undertaker. This was a full-on lynching. Not only did they hang him, they burned him.
All this needs to do is a DX in-ring promo where they talk about barbecues and make dick jokes about sausages and how China's got such a big sausage. Owen has a little sausage, and Triple H offers him a European title match next week.
So confused.
Sean, yeah, it just seems like thrown together. It didn't need both these parts together. It could have been separate things.
Just so many dick jokes. It was like, how many dick jokes can we fit in this 20-minute segment? And then Sean tries to cut a serious.
I feel like the whole of Raw was a dick joke at some point.
And Sean's promo was quite good. He talks about he's done everything Austin's currently doing, but he's done it better than Austin can do it. I quite like that bit of fire for Sean.
Yeah, he got serious, and I was like, "But you just been talking about your dick for like."
You've been waving a sausage.
Yeah, I know where
you're building a penis with marshmallows and wieners. Now I'm supposed to take you serious.
I couldn't take him serious anyway. He was wearing a chef's hat.
Yeah. And then Triple H said the title. How am I supposed to take Triple H serious when he's cutting a promo about the European Championship?
Yeah, no gives a shit about that.
And Sean is over there slapping his sausage, which is in his back and forth like it's his penis. I'm going like, this was on TV.
Yeah, this is the golden era. This is what people reminisce about. Such the great attitude era. We cut from a commercial. We cut straight back, and Los Bricos already in the ring. All four of them, facing that famous team of Owen Hart, the Headbangers, and Taka Michinoku.
He was talking about a team when they just decided to throw some people together. We get a Canadian, a Japanese guy,
whatever the Headbangers are.
Whatever we can go with after that. Who's left on the roster that's not competing tonight? The Headbangers. Who?
Yeah.
There.
Just to make it even more confusing, Honk Tonk Man's on commentary as well for some reason.
He's feuding. I believe somehow he's feuding with Owen Hart as well. Because everyone is.
I'm correct. Honky Tonk Man ain't nothing other than Jim Ross going the two cousins back together. Like, let the cousins do the commentary. JR.
This could have been Owen versus Savio, and it would have been a fantastic match because they'd have.
We got that.
Yeah.
Give me again.
Savio hits a really nice kind of running, spinning heel kick over the top rope move. That looked really cool.
Yeah.
And then Owen just gets one of the guys in the sharpshooter and wins really quickly.
Yeah. Well, here's what I thought this match. It started with Taka Michinoku, who was growing a goatee as he was carrying, who also the light heavyweight title was also growing said goatee. He reminded me of, and this is not racist at all, but Shinsuke just coasting by. Just let me get through. Just let me get through this. This is not what I'm about. I'm a better wrestler than this. But they have me in this scenario. I'm just gonna wing this. Just let me get through this, and I'll be okay.
Do you not remember they made Taka Michinoku look out to be like the coolest thing ever for a while, like winning that title, and then it became just a joke.
Yeah,
him and Brian Christopher had some really good matches over that title.
This is what Vince McMahon gets tired. He really hates cruiserweights and tag teams.
Yeah,
and he get behind it for a little bit with someone back in the back, probably pushing it. Trust me, this guy's something special. This is great. And then Vince McMahon, like, you know what? You may got something here. 2 weeks later, it was like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Djokovic and what?
What belts he got? What's them? We've got The Rock. The Rock is in the ring already. He's going to face Ahmed Johnson. The very first move of this match is The Rock suplexing Ahmed, and Ahmed lets out, fuck! really loudly.
Very dramatic. Very dramatic. Was it the Royal Rumble where The Rock cut the Bill Clinton random promo? He's like, he cuts this promo and starts about Bill Clinton. Then it was like, that went nowhere. And then he just started talking shit about everything else. And I was like, I miss this Rock. I miss this Rock.
The No Way Out is where we get the famous Rock eye roll promo, that sort of stuff, where Farouk's doing all the talking and Rock's just hamming it up. I'm looking forward to that. Mark Henry comes out and hits Armour with a chair, really badly timed. Straight into a rock bottom, and the Rock wins. These shows are just an absolute.
As opposed to last week where Farouk ran into a chair and they lost.
They have no organization. They have no, it's just. Like, I remember more structure. I swear to God, there were more structure in this. Like, I feel like
we just wanted to believe it. We just wanted to believe it.
Back in my day, Raw had structure. Now it's just random segments of people waiting in the rings, random finishes. Nope. That's just the way Raw has always been. Whenever I watch Raw again, I'm going to be like, this is good shit right now. Yeah, I'm watching Dewdrop lose to winning against Bianca with some type of device or something, electricity, and like they end the match randomly because the referee disappeared. But nope, that would have happened back in '98 as well.
Yep,
Same
nothing
thing.
has changed. Literally nothing has changed at all. It just looks better now. Looks
Or
more.
we regress. I feel
high
like there's a period where shit made sense. Maybe it's the 2000 era, the ruthless aggression
Might
era.
have been, yeah.
Maybe they smooth things out.
When Bischoff comes in and runs Raw.
Yeah.
Our final match of the night, let's hope we get a clean finish in this one, is the Godwins taking on the New Age Outlaws for the tag team titles.
I don't have
Road
a
Dogg
brick.
And I don't have a pink pig.
The Outlaws come out dressed as the Godwins in overalls, which Billy just soon gets ripped out of, which is weird, which makes JR very happy. Like, that's the first time we've seen Billy Gunn in tights.
And I went with JR and I said, it's probably true because he didn't wear tights as a smoking gun. And then when he was rockabilly, he had pants. And New Age Outlaw Billy has pants. This is the first time he broke out shorts. And I believe he never changed after that. It started to be the badass Billy Gunn tights. Yeah. And you know what? And I feel like he's better for it. Although Billy Gunn today will whoop Billy Gunn's ass from back in the day.
Definitely. That man's almost 60 and he can still go.
Yeah.
This goes on forever. Billy just gets beaten up for fucking ages until they just get the stuffed pig and smack him over the head and win. Like that, it just comes out of nowhere. It's just such a boring match.
I enjoyed the nostalgia of watching the infestation of the New Age Outlaws before the crowd did the sing-alongs and everything. And they really didn't like these guys before
because the entrance isn't quite good, like fully developed yet.
Yeah, you can see where it's beginning and how it evolves probably over time, but it's just like, oh, you didn't know? You know what? Like he didn't even have that timing right with the music. Like it goes better. Yeah. And then, badass Billy Gunn, next to be tag team, soon to be tag team champions of the world. Like when you get none of that, you go like, dang, they're still in their infancy stages of this. Like they're just forming up.
I think there's a couple of times where they let Billy do the intro and it doesn't go well. Billy's not good.
Yeah, he's just there for the mic at all times. Yes. He just yells, sucker! That's what I do best.
So our main event of the night is Vince is on his way to the ring to introduce Mike Tyson, who gets booed out of the building. Tyson looks so happy. He gets in the ring and talks really badly. He shouts Bruno Sammartino at one point.
Yeah, Vince asked him who his favorite wrestler. Yeah, he asked him who his favorite wrestler is, and I think he said it incorrectly.
He said Bruno Sammartino, but I believe this is when Vince and Bruno were in the outs, so he probably didn't want that. So Vince was like, I think I suggested somebody else, maybe Don Morocco, or something like that. And Tyson's like, nah, not really.
Nope. I
love he's from New York. And the fact that Mike Tyson would bring up Bruno Sammartino in the California area where we could give two shits about Bruno Sammartino here. I'm gonna be honest. He means nothing to California because he is a New York wrestler. This is we're basically we're the Hogan and Sting kind of guys over here. We're more the flamboyant, outlandish kind of characters in the California. You gonna bring up Bruno Sammartino? Nah, not gonna work in California. Don't care what part of California you're in.
I forgot to mention the Rumble. Tyson, in his excitement, calls him Stone Cold Stone Steve Austin.
Cold Stone. He loves some ice cream. Cold Stone ice cream.
That's the place where they sing you happy birthday if it's your birthday. Right?
Yeah, it could be. It's several places like that. But yes, let's go with yes, Manny. Yes.
So Austin comes out just before Vince can make his big announcement. Austin is so good in this segment. He just doesn't. He knows exactly where he's headed and where he's going to get to, and he's absolutely incredible. Doesn't back down from Mike Tyson, and then they kind of interact, and Tyson loses his phone and his money and all sorts.
Yeah, the money's everywhere. Flying. But I want to agree with you. Steve Austin was so confident, so like, I'm the fucking shit, and I'm about to go out there and talk shit. It was so believable, even though I know where we're at in this wrestling. Even as a kid, it just felt so good when he just went out there and said, do you know who you dealing with? The world's toughest son of a bitch.
Yeah,
and you go come up here with this and you just see Tyson's reaction like, fuck this guy. And he's like, fuck you. And then they just start going at it. And it's just like that adrenaline, that feeling of when this first happened was, oh my God. It's Steve Austin versus Mike Tyson at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And then Vince is so good. And you ruined it, damn it. You ruined it. And he's like throwing kicks at Austin. It's just like this is the stuff that you will never forget in the moments of after, and that makes you forgive all the other bullshit that's on the show.
Yeah, that's one of the things. But like, for me and Ross, we would have watched this on a Friday, whereas you would have watched on a Monday. So like, I don't know, me would have to wait the entire weekend to talk about this on Monday to my friends at school. Whereas like you would probably have to do it throughout the week until you got it. You got that. So I had to wait. So like, no one else watches this around me, so I'm gonna have to wait to talk to people at school about it because I didn't use a phone. This wasn't the 2000s where I got my Nokia 5110 or whatever it was, or my 3210.
Yeah, this is 2 years from me getting a mobile phone. Yeah. It's just a really good main event segment. The whole show ends with Mike Tyson backstage. He just shouts "faggot" down the lens of the camera, and the camera cuts, and that's it.
I think this is going to get worse. This is going to get worse. Just cut it.
At this point in the 90s, they're happy he used that F word instead of the many other F words he could have used at that point. You're a fucking this and a motherfucking that. Motherfucker, cracker ass, cracker, and all this. Like, I can see it going all racial, all fucking derogatory.
Could have gone a lot worse. That's it then. That is the episode of Raw. Match of the night. I mean, they're all awful, but the best one.
NWA. NWA. Turning on Bradshaw match. And the strut.
You know what? To keep my tenure on this show vivid and alive, Tom Brady versus Mark Mero as the entertaining match of the night for just the nonsense that we have to put up with Tom Brady, because Tom Brady was just out there and he existed, but he was only there. That match only happened so Sable can walk out, because they had no reason to have Sable on the show other than for this segment.
Yeah, we need to get Sable on it somehow. This is how we're going to do it. MVP, it's Austin, isn't it?
Austin, that whole segment, I think everyone involved.
It's just amazing, It's that's one of those moments we've talked about on the show where people remember these bits. No one remembers what else happened on the rest of that episode of Raw, because it's just so forgettable. But you remember that moment. It's
so iconic. It was just so like, wow, this was. I remember exactly where I was sitting, how in awe I was of all of this, being a young high school, waiting to go to school the next morning because the wrestling fandom was building up. Like, you see people walking around with shirts, and you kind of go like, you're in the know, you know what's going on, you know what's up, and then you just randomly talk about, you see Austin Tyson last night. Fuck, man, that's crazy. They're going to go at Mania. All your fantasies that you can book is going down, even though you know it's Austin and Michaels at Mania. You don't know how we're going to get. You're thinking Tyson Austin, and how big Tyson was. It was incredible. And even my grandparents, who were deep into wrestling, were marking out, was like, Steve Austin gonna get beat up by Mike Tyson. You don't want to mess with that. He fought with the wrong man. Oh, fuck Steve Austin.
That's the whole point of these segments, isn't it? Bringing these people in to get people that don't watch wrestling to talk about wrestling, and it worked. It got eyes on the product massively.
Yeah, like JR said, this is your Sports Center moment right here, folks. This is it, because that was everywhere. Yeah. It was everywhere, and I was like, I've never seen wrestling probably this big ever. And this is one of the heights of the NWO. Nobody's had a segment that big in wrestling at that point. It was just like, wow, that was Mike Tyson, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the way Austin delivered everything, it was just perfect. It was so believable. And like, I think it even blurred the lines of, I think they were really fighting. That's how good that was. It was like
how pissed Vince was.
Yeah. How pissed was. The way Austin was looking at you, look at me with your little beady eyes and you don't know what you're looking like. Damn. I still get me pumped up to this day.
So good. There we go. That is it. That is the end of the 19th of January episode of Raw is War and the Warzone. Yeah, it's awful. It's awful every week, but it's fun to talk about. We will be back next week with another episode of Raw, as we're on the road to No Way Out, and then eventually WrestleMania 14. But yeah, there we go. Manny, going to do all the other stuff in post?
You can see the The Facebook, the YouTubes, and the Instagram is the Sharpshooters. And we've got the new Twitter account, the Sharpies Network. That is all done by this man over here.
I'll give you guys the password if you want. Just not
no,
you can't have it.
No, because I will not use it. I'm so bad at social media.
I'm trash. I don't do anything. I just wake up and just be like, I'm chilling it. Huh? Want to talk wrestling? Sure, I can talk wrestling.
So there you go. Follow us on all of our stuff, like us on all of our stuff, subscribe on YouTube, get those subscriber numbers up. We want to get to 200 as soon as we can, and then onto the magical 1,000, where we can all retire and just talk wrestling for a living. That'd be great. One day, boys, one day. But there we go. We will be back next week with another episode of Raw is War. See you then.